Hi everyone, and welcome to the podcast. Behind every courtroom door is a story. This is a story of Judge Evelyn Hart's life. She is a young and brave woman who stands for truth, fairness, and doing what's right, even when it's hard. Let's follow Evelyn through real court cases, big decisions, and personal struggles. From her first day as a judge to the final case of her career, every story shows the power of honesty, courage, and justice. So sit back, listen closely, and let the story begin. Evelyn Hart is a new judge. She is 35 years old and the youngest judge in her state. On her first day, she feels nervous but also proud. She puts on her black robe and walks into the courtroom. Many people are watching her, including reporters. Everyone wants to see how the young judge will do her job. Her first case is very big. A rich man named Richard Vance is in trouble. He is the boss of a big company. The police say he stole money and lied to people about his business. Many people lost their money because of him. He says he is not guilty. The lawyers talk in court. The government lawyer shows many papers. They say the man took millions of dollars. His lawyer says it was not his fault. They blame another man who ran away to another country. Judge Evelyn listens carefully. At night, she reads more papers alone. She finds something important, a letter from a worker. The worker says Richard Vance knew about the problem, but he did nothing. This letter was hidden in the files. The next day, Judge Evelyn talks about the letter in court. She asks both lawyers why it was missing. She says they must show everything, not just what helps their side. She does not make a quick decision. Instead, she asks for more time and more information. Some people are angry because they want fast justice. But Evelyn says, "I am not here to make people happy. I am here to do what is right." At the end of the day, Evelyn sits quietly in her office. She puts down her gavel, the small hammer a judge uses. She knows her job is not easy, but she also knows she made the right choice. Judge Evelyn Hart is now used to the courtroom. She still feels nervous sometimes, but she is more confident than before. One morning, she gets a new case. It is about two brothers who are fighting over money from their father. Their father died last year, and he left a lot of money and land. Now the brothers cannot agree who should get what. The case looks normal at first. But when Evelyn reads the file, she sees a name that surprises her. One of the lawyers is someone she knew a long time ago, her cousin Daniel. She has not seen him in many years. Their families had a big fight in the past, and they stopped talking. Evelyn feels strange. She asks herself, should I leave this case? Is it fair if I know one of the people? But she also knows the rules. The judge must only leave a case if she cannot be fair. Evelyn believes she can still do her job. In court, the two brothers speak with anger. One says, "My brother lied to our father to get more money." The other says, "That's not true. You only want everything for yourself." The room is full of stress. Evelyn stays calm and listens to both sides. She asks questions and takes notes. Outside of court, Daniel tries to talk to her. He says, "It's been a long time, Evelyn." But she keeps it professional. "This is not the time to talk about the past," she says. "We are in court now." Later, she finds a mistake in one of the papers. It shows that one brother changed part of the will without telling anyone. That is not legal. Evelyn brings it up in court and gives both sides time to explain. After a few days, she gives her decision. She says, "The will must be followed the right way. One brother changed it without permission, so that part is not valid." Both brothers look surprised, but they accept her ruling. At the end of the day, Evelyn goes back to her office. She feels tired but proud. She did her job fairly, even with family involved. She looks at an old photo on her desk from her childhood. It reminds her that the past can come back any time, but it doesn't have to control her future. Judge Evelyn Hart gets another big case. This time, it is about a man accused of murder. His name is Thomas Reed. The police say he killed someone during a fight. Thomas says it was an accident. The courtroom is full of people. Some believe Thomas is guilty. Others think he is not. 12 people are chosen to be the jury. These people will listen to the case and help decide if Thomas is guilty or not. Evelyn gives them clear rules. You must only listen to what you hear in court, she says. Do not talk to anyone about this case. The trial begins. The lawyers speak, and witnesses come to the stand. The story is sad. The victim was a young father. His family is watching the trial every day. Evelyn wants to make sure everything is fair. After a few days, something strange happens. One juror looks nervous. He keeps checking his phone. Another juror suddenly asks to leave the case but won't say why. Evelyn starts to worry. She wonders, is someone trying to scare the jury? She speaks with her court clerk and asks security to look into it. That night, she finds a note left under her office door. It says, "Be careful, Judge. Don't ask too many questions." Evelyn knows now that something is wrong. Someone is trying to influence the jury or stop the trial. She cannot ignore it. The next morning, she calls everyone into court. She says, "The safety of the court is important. I will protect this process." She brings in a security team to watch over the jurors. She also questions each juror privately. One young woman says a man followed her home. Another says he got a strange message on social media. Evelyn is shocked, but calm. She takes action. She replaces 2 jurors and warns everyone again. This trial must be fair. If you feel unsafe, speak up. We will protect you. The trial continues. Slowly, the truth comes out. The fight was real, but Thomas did not plan to kill. After many days, the jury gives their answer, not guilty. They believe it was an accident. At the end of the day, Evelyn looks out the window of her office. She knows someone tried to stop justice, but she stopped them first. She writes in her journal, "Even when it's dark, the truth must have its day in court." One rainy morning, Judge Evelyn Hart gets a new case. A 16-year-old boy named Jaden Cole is in court. The police say he stole a car and caused a crash. A woman was hurt in the accident. Jaden says, "Yes, I did it." He tells the judge he is guilty. Everyone in the courtroom is surprised. Jaden is quiet, with sad eyes. His lawyer doesn't speak much. The police show video of the crash. But something doesn't feel right to Judge Evelyn. She watches Jaden closely. He doesn't look like a boy who steals cars. Evelyn asks a few questions. "Where did you get the keys?" Jaden says, "They were in my pocket." "Whose car was it?" He says, "I don't know." His answers are short and slow. Something is wrong. After court, Evelyn talks to his lawyer in private. The lawyer is new and nervous. He wants to end it quickly, the lawyer says. He said he doesn't want to cause trouble. Evelyn thinks for a moment and says, "Sometimes people say they're guilty when they are not. We must be sure." She asks for more time before making a decision. Then, she asks her clerk to check school records and camera footage. A day later, her team finds something important. Jaden was at school at the time of the car theft. Now Evelyn is very concerned. She brings Jaden back to court and asks gently, "Why did you say you stole the car?" Jaden looks down. After a long pause, he says, "Because my brother did it. He told me to take the blame. He said no one would care because I'm just a kid." The courtroom goes silent. Evelyn's eyes are calm but serious. She tells Jaden, "You are brave to tell the truth now. But never lie in court. You must always speak honestly, even when it's hard." She closes the case and tells the police to investigate the real person. Jaden is free to go home. At the end of the day, Evelyn writes in her notebook, "Sometimes, people lie to protect others. But justice needs the truth, even when the truth is painful." She looks out at the rainy sky and thinks about the boy. This time, the system worked. But not everyone is so lucky. Judge Evelyn Hart sits at her desk, reading a new case file. This case is not like others. A woman named Maya Lin is taking her old job to court. She says her company did something wrong, and when she spoke up, they fired her. Maya was a worker in a big government office. Now she is called a whistleblower, someone who tells the truth about a bad secret. Maya says the office was wasting money and hiding it from the public. She found fake reports and told her boss. But after that, people at work were mean to her. Then one day, she was told to leave her job. She is asking the court for justice. In court, the company says Maya is lying. She made mistakes, the lawyer says. She was angry after losing her job. The company brings in high-level bosses in nice suits. They speak in long, confusing words. Evelyn listens quietly and writes notes. She can tell that Maya is scared, but honest. Maya comes to the stand. Her voice shakes. She says, "I just wanted to do the right thing." She brings printed emails, notes, and reports. Some of them show missing money. Evelyn looks at the documents closely. After the break, something strange happens. A man walks into court. He is not part of the case, but he says he used to work with Maya. He tells the court, "She was telling the truth. I saw the same problems. But I was afraid to speak up." Evelyn asks both sides to stop. She wants time to read all the new papers. She calls in an expert to check the files. A few days later, the expert says, "Yes, the company changed the numbers. Now the truth is clear." Evelyn gives her ruling. She says, "This court believes Maya Lin. She was punished for being honest. That is not right." She tells the company to pay Maya and fix the reports. After the case, Maya cries tears of relief. Evelyn shakes her hand and says, "Thank you for your courage." That night, Evelyn writes in her notebook, "Some people stay silent to stay safe. But real change comes from those who speak up, even when it's dangerous." Judge Evelyn Hart gets a case that is very emotional. A woman named Rosa Martinez is in court. She is not a criminal. She is trying to get help. Rosa wants a court order to protect her from her husband. She says he hurt her many times. This is called a domestic violence case. When Rosa walks into the courtroom, she is quiet and nervous. Her hands shake. She does not want to look at her husband, who is sitting on the other side. He looks calm and confident. His lawyer says, "My client is a good man. This is all a lie." Rosa starts to speak. At first, her voice is very soft. She says, "He yells at me. He tells me I'm nothing. Sometimes, he hits me when he drinks." Tears roll down her face. The courtroom is silent. Then she says something surprising, "I'm not the only one. There are other women." Judge Evelyn looks up. Other women? She asks. Rosa nods. Yes. He hurt his first wife too. She left the city. And I think he's doing the same thing to someone at work. Now the case is bigger than one woman. Evelyn asks the police to find the first wife and speak to the people at his job. 2 more women come forward. They tell similar stories. Evelyn listens to all of them carefully. The man still says he did nothing wrong. He says the women are making things up. But the evidence is strong. Police find texts and photos. The truth is clear. In her final ruling, Evelyn speaks clearly. This court believes the victims. This behavior is not okay. The law must protect people from harm. She gives Rosa a permanent protection order and tells the man to stay away from all of the women. After court, Rosa hugs her lawyer. She says, "Thank you. I was so scared. But now I feel safe." Evelyn watches from the bench, her face calm but serious. That night, she writes in her journal. Silence can hide pain. But when one voice speaks, others find the strength to speak too. And the silence is broken. Judge Evelyn Hart is working in her office when she gets a strange phone call. A lawyer tells her about an old case she worked on many years ago. That case never had a clear ending. Some important papers and evidence went missing. The case was about a man named Mr. Collins who was accused of stealing from his company. Evelyn remembers the case. It was difficult and made her worried at the time. Now, the case is back. Someone wants Evelyn to look at it again and find the truth. She feels nervous. What if she made a mistake before? She decides to open the old files. When she looks, she sees some papers are gone. Some witness statements are missing. She asks her clerk to help find more information. Together, they search government archives and speak to old witnesses. One witness, a woman named Mrs. Lopez, remembers something important. She says, "I think someone took the papers to protect Mr. Collins." Evelyn begins to think that someone tried to hide the truth. Evelyn calls a new hearing. She invites the lawyers and the witnesses. She asks many questions to find out what really happened. The courtroom is full of tension. Some people do not want the truth to come out. After many days, Evelyn makes a decision. She says, "This court will not forget the missing papers. We will continue to search for the truth. No one is above the law." The case is reopened, and new evidence comes forward. Evelyn feels relief but also sadness for the mistakes of the past. At the end of the day, she writes in her notebook. Sometimes, truth hides in shadows. It takes courage to bring it back into the light. Judge Evelyn Hart is now famous. Many people respect her work. But one day, trouble comes to her door. She is accused of being unfair in a very important case about civil rights. Some people say she made a mistake because of her feelings. Others say she is honest and strong. The news spreads quickly. Protesters come to the courthouse. Some shout, "Justice for all." Others say, "Judge Hart is wrong." The reporters ask many questions. Evelyn feels pressure like never before. The court where Evelyn works starts an investigation. They want to know if she was really unfair. Evelyn has to answer questions and explain her decisions. She wants to show everyone she did the right thing. In court, Evelyn listens carefully to all the complaints. She answers with calm and clear words. She says, "I make decisions based on facts and law. I do not let feelings change my work." Some people support her. They say she is brave and honest. Others still don't believe her. At home, Evelyn feels sad but strong. She talks with her family and friends. They tell her to keep going and trust herself. After weeks of waiting, the investigation ends. Evelyn is cleared. The court says she acted fairly and with respect. She goes back to work. Outside, people clap and cheer. Evelyn smiles but knows her work is not done. That night, she writes in her journal, "When people doubt you, stand firm. Truth and fairness are the best armor." Judge Evelyn Hart is surprised one day. A man from her past comes to her courtroom. His name is Marcus Wells. Many years ago, Marcus was a young man who broke the law. Evelyn had to send him to prison for a long time. Now Marcus is back, but this time, he is a lawyer. He works to help other people who are in prison. Marcus wants to show that people can change if they get a second chance. One day, Marcus brings a new case to court. He is the lawyer for a prisoner who says the prison is not safe. The prisoner says guards are unfair and break the rules. Evelyn listens carefully. Marcus and Evelyn know each other well. Their past makes the case harder. They both want the truth, but they must follow the law. The courtroom is full of tension. Marcus speaks with passion. Evelyn asks many questions. They work together to find the real story. After a long trial, the court agrees that the prison needs to change. Guards who acted badly will be punished. The prisoner is safer now. At the end, Marcus thanks Evelyn. He says, "Thank you for believing people can change." Evelyn smiles and says, "Everyone deserves a chance to be better." That night, Evelyn writes in her notebook, "People can make mistakes, but with help, they can find a new path. That is real justice." Judge Evelyn Hart is thinking about retirement. She has worked many years as a judge. One day, a new case comes to her court. It is about a young woman named Lena, who came from another country. Lena wants to stay in the country because she is afraid to go back home. Lena tells her story in court. She says, "There is danger in my country. I want to live here safely." The lawyers argue about Lena's case. Some say she should leave. Others say she can stay. Evelyn listens carefully. She knows this decision will change Lena's life. Many people watch the trial. Some want Lena to stay. Others disagree. Evelyn feels the weight of the decision. After many days, Evelyn makes her final decision. She says, "This court decides Lena can stay. We must protect those in danger." Lena smiles and thanks the judge. She feels hope for her new life. Evelyn feels proud but also sad. She knows her time as a judge is ending. She looks back at all the cases she has worked on, the good and the hard times. At the end of the day, Evelyn writes in her journal, "A judge's job is not easy, but every decision can help change a life. I am proud of the work I have done." She puts down her gavel one last time, ready to start a new chapter. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Judgment and Justice, the life of Judge Evelyn Hart. Today we witnessed more than just a courtroom decision. We saw the strength it takes to speak the truth, to stand alone, and to make the hard choices when everyone is watching, or when no one is. Through every case, Judge Evelyn reminds us that justice is not about power, popularity, or pride. It's about people, truth, and doing what's right, even when it's not easy. If this story made you feel something, if it inspired you, made you reflect, or helped you learn, we invite you to share it. Follow this podcast, leave a review, and help spread the message that real justice begins with courage. Thank you for listening and walking this journey with us. Until then, stay curious, stay strong, and never stop believing in justice.